I'm Charmaine.
I'm Jomo.
And in this video, we'll be discussing 10 pointers to ending toxic relationships.
Okay. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Number one.
And
the denial. You got to get real with yourself.
That's right.
It's over.
It's over.
You have to move on.
Yes.
And with that, it's funny that sometimes it's hard to transition to new, but the first step is you have to admit it's over.
That's right.
Any addiction center says the first step in anything is admitting it.
Admitting it. And once you do that, you really drop a weight of trying to vacillate. Is this gonna work? Are we gonna get back together? No. Let it go so you can move forward.
Okay.
And once you know that you're moving forward, it's so much better because you can start planning for the future, right?
Yes.
All right, number 2.
Keep a log of your emotions, meaning write it out.
Write it out, journal.
You know what I thought was beneficial? Sometimes if you write out what you've been through, it helps you make a better decision.
Yes.
Ben Franklin had this thing called the Ben Franklin Close. And what he did is he wrote down all the things that are positive in a relationship and all the things that are negative.
Right.
And sometimes you don't realize how jacked up this relationship is until you actually write it down and read it to yourself. So there's actually a 2018 survey that says that when you write things out, it's called expressive writing.
Right.
There's actually health benefits to you getting all this stuff out of you.
Right.
So whereas you can get healed.
And this is a really good just way to relieve stress, just in general.
Correct.
I know when I was a little girl, my mom used to always say, when you have feelings of anything, write it down, journal it, Charmaine. Once you've written it down and then you read it out loud to yourself, then you can make a clear decision whether you should even say it to anyone else.
Correct.
Because once you've written something down, you may reread what you wrote and think, you know what, that really wasn't a clear thought, or that's not something I would ever want to repeat to anybody else, or, you know, or this is something valid that I should say.
Correct.
So you can make a better decision as far as what emotions need to come out of your mouth and what should just stay down on paper.
Number 3, identify the perks.
Yes.
Example, we shared finances.
Right. And maybe they had some really beneficial life habits that you want to incorporate now that you've been exposed to it.
Correct.
Right?
They pick the kids up.
Right. Well, even like, for example, if they were very disciplined with their morning routine, and you want to carry that over into the rest of your life, that's something you learned, and you can carry that habit into the rest of your life. That's an awesome thing.
When you're transitioning, you always want to identify what are you losing with this person.
And what were the benefits of having them in your life.
Correct. It's actually factual that they say that 69% of most things in relationships don't change. So a lot of it is not going to change, but when you move on and transition, there were some positives about the person.
Absolutely.
So with that, you identify them. Then after you identify the positives, you got to fill the gaps. You got to fill the gaps.
How am I going to continue to use these positives, or how am I going to continue to do the things that are beneficial to my life?
The person added something. So when a person's gone, you have to fill the void with something else.
So finances, for example.
You might be in a job.
Huge.
Or you might have to have some family.
Back up your...
You may have to have a family help you.
Right.
You know, to go through a process.
Or some people downsize.
That's a very good idea. Yeah. Downsize, reduce your bills, or get another job, or you may have to make some adjustments to fill the void that the person left.
What about friendships?
It's key.
Sometimes you'll lose a friend or two if you guys met the friend as a couple. They pick sides.
All day long.
And you can't be hurt by it. You have to respect their choice as to who they plan on conversing with after the breakup.
That's so true. You know, it's funny. I had a friend of mine tell me this. He says, Jomo, when trees leave, roots leave with them.
Yes.
So when you have a person, a solid person in your life leave, their roots usually leave with them. It's the same thing, church. When one person leaves, whoever their crew is,
their connection
often they leave with them. So when a tree leaves, often the roots leave with them.
Somebody said something very valid to me though, as it pertains to people leaving church. If the person came to the church because of relationship, they will leave a church because of relationship.
True.
If they came to the church because it was their calling, they will only leave if God called them to another place.
Correct. And that's fine.
So,
I mean, again,
yeah.
everyone has liberty and freedom
Absolutely.
to make a decision for themselves.
Absolutely. All right. Next, surround yourself with positive friends.
Key, you are the average of your friends. You move
right.
in the direction of the people you surround yourself with. So the key aspect of any transitional period is you want to put yourself in a surrounding of positive people.
That's
You're
right.
leaving a toxic relationship. So you need to stay away from toxic people.
That's right.
You want to stay around people who give you life, energy,
That's right.
exciting, upbeat, who have a good outlook on life. Because
Right.
that's what you need right now.
Usually
In this
that's
season,
your crew.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
All right, number six.
Number six.
Drop yourself a note to yourself, okay? Remind yourself who you are. You know, encourage yourself with
Put it on the mirror.
Yeah,
Every morning you can look at it.
correct. It's so key that we speak to ourselves. Self-love.
That's right.
All right.
Treat yourself.
Number 7, treat yourself.
Yes.
Now, some of you need a vacay.
Vacay.
Yes, you need to go get a spa day.
Yeah.
You know, treat yourself.
You could even have a staycay.
Okay, staycay. I know
You know,
about
if you
staycays.
don't have the budget to do a vacay, you could do a staycay.
Absolutely. So after we do that, we got to heal.
Right.
Heal the guilt. Oftentimes in relationships, we're trying to figure out what happened, how did it happen, what can I do better. So what I've learned to do is do an autopsy. Okay? What role did I have to play in this? What were the contributing factors that led me to this?
Right.
What wouldn't I do again?
Right.
What can I learn from this?
Okay.
Who were the influences that made me make this decision? Who was I talking to when I made this decision?
That's good.
Who was I hanging with when I made the decision? Who was speaking into my life to do the decision?
Right.
Who should I have listened to?
Right.
Who warned me not to do it? So my point is, there's so many things that can help us make better decisions, but we
Right.
have to analyze,
Right.
how did I get here?
Right.
And
We have to practice self-forgiveness.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's funny. I was reading a story about when Ohio State won the national championship a few years back. They actually beat, I think they beat Alabama. And the coach, Nick Saban, went to the other coach and said, what happened? And he basically explained to him what he saw. And of course, if you don't know, Nick Saban is the best college coach ever. He went, humbled himself, and found out what happened. Y'all whooped us. What did y'all see in us? And so being successful means that you have to analyze yourself.
Good. That's good.
And not feel anything wrong with it.
Right.
Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you want something different, you have to do something different.
Some health benefits to self-forgiveness is a lower risk of heart attack, lower risk of blood pressure, improved cholesterol levels, improves anxiety and depression and stress. So it is so important. You don't forgive people for them. You forgive people for you.
Come on.
Drop the weight.
Come on.
All right, next.
And by the way, with that being said, people say forgive and forget. It's hard to forget. The goal is to release them and not repeat them.
There you go. Learn.
Number 9, repeat affirmations. Now, you guys know I'm an affirmation junkie.
Yes.
I do affirmations every day, and I'm telling you,
It
I didn't
works.
realize there's actual medical benefits to affirmations.
Yes.
It says right here, according to 2016 MRI images suggest certain neural pathways become more active when you practice self-affirmation. Your
Isn't that
brain works
awesome?
better. Can you believe that?
Because your brain takes it in. It goes back to our words have power.
Correct. So you are wonderful. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the image of God.
I am a child of God.
Come on.
God loves me.
Yeah. Now, that joker might have left or did not value you, but you're valuable because God made you.
Right.
And lastly, allow yourself some rest. Allow yourself some rest. Getting through over anything, you need some peace and you need some rest. And sometimes it's just a rest from people,
Yes.
a rest from the internet, a rest from social media,
Quietness.
rest from your cell phone,
Right.
and just sit back and process for a season.
Right.
I know for me, I often get quiet and ask God to give me wisdom, give me direction, You know, because there's so many voices speaking our lives, and some people are going to try to tell you something when you're trying to transition.
Try cutting your phone off for just 24 hours. How many of us have not been on social media for 24 hours?
It's amazing.
You can't live without a social media platform. Sometimes you just need to give yourself a break.
Correct.
Give yourself that time so you can heal, so you can write down your affirmations, so you can reflect on what's happened, so you can move forward in a positive direction.
Correct.
I'm so happy that you guys chose to join us. Please give us a like, a thumbs up, and let us know in the comment section some things that you have done to cope with this situation.
Well,
remember,
love, laugh, and learn.